Hi viewers, welcome to this interesting channel, and we have an interesting tutorial, and we shall be reviewing question number 9 coming from Additional Mathematics Paper 1 examination for school certificate ordinary level. So this is the past paper. Let's now try to check the question in the paper. So it is question number 9. Let's try to check where question number 9 is. Here is question number 9. The question has two parts. It has part A and part B. So it has part A and part B. Part A carries 4 marks and part B carries 5 marks. So in this video, we shall be reviewing question number 9, and that is the question. The question. So the question says the diagram shows part of the curve y is equal to 6 square root of x and part of the straight line y is equal to 3x intersecting at the points O and T. And then it says, so that is the diagram below. So that is the diagram below. It says, and then it says find we have part A which says coordinates of T, and then B, the volume, find the volume generated when the shaded region is rotated through 360 degrees about the x-axis. So this is the question which we shall be reviewing in this tutorial, and what I would like to advise you is that subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you're updated with each and every new tutorial which is uploaded. So you just simply have to click the subscribe button, and also don't forget to like and to also comment to hear out your views. Plus also don't forget to share to other people so that they can also enjoy the tutorials of additional mathematics in this YouTube channel. So here we now get into the solving. So don't forget to subscribe as we are getting into the solving. So this channel can help you have a distinction in additional mathematics. You should keep that in mind. Okay, so now we are getting into the solving. Let's try to read the question once again. So it is question number 9, and then it says the diagram shows part of the curve y is equal to 6 square root of x and part of the straight line y is equal to 3x intersecting at the points O and T. And then it says find the coordinates of T, B, volume generated when the shaded region is rotated through 360 degrees about the x-axis. So we are going to start with part A, which says find the coordinates of T. Find the coordinates of T. So when finding the coordinates of T, we are going to use those two equations. So let's now start. So the point, as seen on the diagram, the point where those two lines intersect, where line y is equal to 3x and the curve y is equal to 6 square root of x intersect can be seen as above in the video. So it can be at D and at O. So that is where those two lines intersect. So we are given to find the coordinates of T. So the main interest is the coordinates of t. So what we're going to do in this video, we are going to find those 2 points, coordinates of both the coordinates of O and coordinates of t. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to write the equations so that we solve them simultaneously. So we have to write the equations. So in this video, equation 1 was chosen to be y is equal to 3x, and then equation 2, y is equal to 6 square root of x. So what we can do now is that we have to equate those two equations. So what we are going to say is that we are going to use the substitution method in this video in order for us to find the values of x and y. So we are going to say 6 square root of x is equal to 3x, and then we have to find the value of x. Now what we have to do is that we have to square both sides. We have to square both sides so that it can be easier for us. So when we square both sides, it will be 6 open bracket 6 square root of x close brackets squared is equal to 3 open brackets 3x close brackets squared. So when we square both sides, it will be, first let's try to make 3x squared to come to the other side so that it equals to 0. And then when you evaluate, it will give you, the first part will give you 36x, and then the second part it will be 9x squared. So at this step, what we are going to do is that we are going to factorize. We are going to use the factorization method in order for us to find the actual values of x. We are going to factorize, and then when we look at those, we can take out 9x, because 9x appears in 36x and also in negative 9x squared. So 9x appears in both. So 9x will be outside the brackets, and then inside the brackets we have 4 minus x. So this is how it should be. And then when we use the factorization method, we have to take note that 9x is equal to 0, since 9x is just outside the brackets and it does not have any other partner. So we're going to say 9x is equal to 0, or, so since there are two values of x, this is how it should be, or 4 minus x is equal to 0. So we're going to divide both sides by 9. So the first part, x is equal to 0, or x is equal to 4. So we have two parts. So x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 4. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to use that same equation, which is, you can pick any equation which you want, but in this video we chose 3x, but if you want you can choose so in this video we chose y is equal to 3x, but if you want you can pick y is equal to 6, or y is equal to 6 square root of x, but in this video we chose y is equal to 3x. So what we can do now is that since we have found the value of x, so the value of x on the first part is 0. So we are going to start by replacing it with 0. So it will be y is equal to 3 open brackets 0. So it will be like that. So that's how you get the value of y. And then at the second part you also do the same. You replace it with 4, and then it will give you the value of 12. So we have two coordinates. We have 0, 0 and 4, 12. Now we have to identify the points. Just through the help of visual. You can identify the 2 points. So we have 0, 0. So point O appears to be 0, 0. Point O appears to be 0, 0, and then point T appears to be 4, 12. So that's how you can easily identify. So those are the coordinates of T. This is how you are supposed to answer in an exam. So therefore, coordinates is equal to T open brackets 4, 12 close brackets. So this is how you get marks. This is how you get marks in an exam room. This is how you're supposed to answer. So we are done with part A, and then now let's go to part B. So part B says volume generated when the shaded region is rotated through 360 degrees about the x-axis. Let's now go to B. Let's answer the question. So in this question, we are required to answer volume. We are required to give the answer for volume. So this is how you answer such a question. So you have to write something like pi. So with the limits x, and then the lower limit should be x, and then the upper limit should be x2, and then you have to integrate. So in those brackets it will be y2 open brackets y2 close brackets squared minus open brackets y1 close brackets squared. So this is how it should be. So through the help of question A, 9A, so you found the coordinates of O and T. So the coordinates of O were 0, 0, and then the coordinates of T were 4, 12. So these coordinates, we are going to use them in this question. So we are going to use these coordinates in this question. So now, since we have just written the letters, so let's now start identifying. So x1 is 0. So how do I identify that x1 is 0? So you have to look for the x coordinate, which is on the left, and then the x coordinate which is on the left is 0. The x coordinate which is on the left is 0. Let's now go to x2. So x2, again, how do we identify? We have to look for the x coordinate which is on the right according to the curve which is given, according to the shaded region, which is given. So the x coordinate which is on the right is 4. So therefore x2 will be 4. And then y1, how do I identify that? This is y1. So y1, so the way we identify y1, it is the part which is down. The part which is down, it is the y1. And then so the part which is down, it is the y1, and then the part which is up, it is the y2. So the part of the curve which is up, it is the y2, and then the part of the curve of the shaded region which is down, it is the y1. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to replace now. We are going to replace those in that formula which we used. So we said that x1 is 0, so we are going to replace where there is x1 with 0, and then x2 it is 4, y2 it is 6 square root of x, and then y1 it is 3x. So just like that. Now we now get into the calculations. Let's now go into the calculations. So don't forget the pi, so it should be like that. So pi, so you have the limit of, we have the limits of 0 to 4. So when you evaluate the first part, it will be 36x, and then the second part is it will be negative 9x squared. So this is how it should be. So let's start by integrating. So when integrating, we said that we add 1 to the power of x, so it will be 1 plus 1, and then we get the same value which is up there. We put it down now, and then we also do the same on the right hand side. So we're going to add a 1, and then we divide like that. And then don't forget we have the limits 0 to 4. So v is equal to pi. So when you do the calculations, it will be 36x squared over 2 minus 9x cubed over 3 with the limits of 0 to 4. So v is equal to pi, open brackets, 18x squared minus 3x cubed with the limits 0 to 4, like that. V is equal to pi. So again, what we're going to do is that we're going to get the limits. So what we do is that we get the upper limit first. We get the upper limit, and then we replace it where there is x. So we are going to replace it with 4, and then it will be like that. Again, there we replace. So that is the first step. Again, we subtract. We replace again with the lower limit, and then the lower limit in this video is 0. So the lower limit is 0. We are going to replace it with 0. like that. This is how it will be. So V is equal to pi. So when you do the calculations, it will be like 96. When you do the calculations, so it will be 96. It will give you 96 when you do the calculations. So in this case, it will be something like, since volume is calculated in cubic, so it will be V is equal to 96 pi units cubed. So it will be 96 pi cubic units. 96 pi cubic units. This is how you get the question. So therefore V is equal to 96 pi cubic units. Volume is equal to 96 pi cubic units. This is how you get such questions. This is how you get marks. This is how you get marks in an exam room. This is how you score marks. So this is how you're supposed to answer in an exam room. Thank you for watching. See you to another video tutorial. Don't forget to comment, to like, share, and also subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you to another video tutorial.